Folks, it is that time again. Okay, it's like 3 days before that time again. I promised right at the start of August to vlog every day in August that I was going to try and get back into doing monthly Q&As again. Here we are, 2 days before the end of vlog every day in August. And we're doing September's one a couple of days early. Let me off. You've seen the last couple of days, the vlogs have just been me. Anna is really struggling with her back again. So she's not been on camera. There is going to be a vlog tomorrow because we're actually staying in a Premier Inn for Andy tonight. We've talked about it a couple of times already. So you've got one more proper vlog for VEDA. But it's been a challenge daily vlogging again over the last month. I don't know how I managed to do it for as long as I did. What was it? 3 years? Over 3 years? I don't remember how long we daily vlogged for. No idea how we did that. Certainly don't think we're ever going to be able to consistently daily vlog again. Other than the fact Vlogmas will be here for December, and obviously there will be lots of vlogs between now and then as well. You saw the vlog come back in, what was it, May, June time, when Anna left her job at the prison and started working full-time for our business. And that's going to continue like that. So there'll be some weeks where we have 4 or 5 videos. There'll be other weeks where we only have 1 or 2. We'll vlog when it feels right to vlog. We'll make other videos as well. And we'll just get back into the swing of that routine again. So hopefully you have enjoyed vlog every day in August. I've enjoyed it on the whole. It's been nice having a reason to vlog every day and having that creative kick up the backside to make me put out a video every day. We wouldn't have done stuff like the reaction videos, like bringing Q&As back, things like that people have been asking for. We wouldn't have done if it hadn't been the pressure to put a video out every day. So I think it's probably gone okay. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. That's enough intro waffle. Let's get into the Q&A. As ever, I put this on the channel community page, so keep an eye on that for future Q&As. Posted up on the community page, asking you for questions and also asking you to give a thumbs up to any questions that other people had asked that you want to see answer as well. I've then had a look through the most popular questions, ruled out the ones that are repeats or ones that we've answered recently, either live or in Q&A videos in the last couple of months, and narrowed it down to these questions, which I have saved on my phone. So let me find question number 1, which is this one. Once Andy moves out, do you think he'll ever stay over for occasions like Christmas? Yeah, definitely. He's not moving out forever. Well, yeah, he's moving out forever, but not like once he's out, he's not allowed to set foot back in our house again. That's not how it works, is it? He'll be here for visits. Where it doesn't even necessarily just have to be Christmas. There'll be Christmas, there'll be birthdays, we'll go on trips together. We'll take him out for days places. We're obviously still going to see him a lot. He just won't have his stuff here. His stuff will be somewhere else, which, as long-time viewers will know, that's how I define a house. A house is a place to keep your stuff, and his stuff will be somewhere else. But he can still come here, just not bring all his stuff with him. Does Anna plan on getting back into a career based around her degree once life allows it? It's really difficult to answer a question like that because we don't know if and when that would be a thing. I think it's important to define what when life allows it means, because one of the reasons it was difficult for her to find a job related to her degree when she first graduated is because of everything that had been going on with the pandemic and lots of places weren't hiring. That being said, that's not the reason she's not working now. The reason she's not working now is because it doesn't really work her working full-time whilst she's also Andy's full-time carer. So realistically, she's not going to be going out and getting a full-time job, like a fully intensive full-time career type job while Andy is still living at home with us. So we don't know when that situation will change. That could happen at any point from like a year from now to 10 years from now. We don't know exactly when he's going to be moving out. So it's impossible to put a timeline on that for Anna and work. And because of that, we don't know what situation everything else will be in. She might be a full-time streamer earning £250,000 a year by the time that happens. Or the vlog, we might have 2 million subscribers on the vlog channel. Or it might have all ended and I might be back teaching. We don't know. We don't know where we're going to be when Andy isn't living here anymore. So we don't know what Anna's next step will be when that happens. Who knows? What's the hardest thing about Andy having autism? Communication, I think, is the hardest thing, both for him and for us. The fact that he can't communicate with us the way he perhaps would want to, assuming he wants to. Don't want to put words in his mouth. But we can't have the communication with him that we want. So if he's upset about something, he can't tell us, so we can't fix it. If he wants something, he finds it hard to tell us, so we can't always get it to him. And I think a lot of the issues around behavior or around meltdowns, the times he gets upset, the times he gets frustrated, a lot of it could be solved if we were able to communicate better in both directions. So if he could communicate what was bothering him, and if we could explain to him that he has to wait 10 minutes, or that if, it's on its way, or, okay, well, I'm fixing that now, that kind of thing. So just generally communication is the cause of most problems that we have with Andy. So yeah, if we could find a way to fix that, that would be great. But I don't know, we've tried a lot of things. We've been on sign language courses. We've tried different apps on his iPad and on his phone. His speech and communication in general has got a lot better over the years, and it's something everyone will continue to work on. And maybe one day it will just be completely fine and we'll be able to communicate. But yeah, at the moment, the biggest challenge, and it always has been the biggest challenge, is communication. What are you both looking forward to doing during the day once Andy is back at school? Getting back into a proper work schedule. I've talked about it. I think I talked about it in the back to school planning video, so I won't go over it again in a huge amount of detail. But for the last 6 weeks, my work schedule has been all over the place. My sleep schedule has been all over the place because of it. I've been recording videos. I've had videos that I've recorded gone midnight, and I usually record all my videos in the morning. So to be in the situation where I'm having to make videos at gone midnight just to get them done shows how all over the place my schedule is when Andy's here and we're having to fit in days out and trips and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just looking forward to being able to sit at my desk at 8 o'clock in the morning and stay here until 4 o'clock in the afternoon and get my work done during a normal 8 till 4 working day, and have a little bit of normality when I'm not working. I think it's going to be really, really cool. And Anna's the same. She wants to get back into a regular stream schedule. She's not been streaming as much as she has been. We're both looking forward to be able to do a little bit more exercise. I've got my gym membership. Anna's got the bouncy thing that she got, going out on walks together, that kind of thing. These are all things that are much more of a challenge when Andy's here, because he doesn't want to do any of that. And not only does he not want to do it, a lot of the time he doesn't want us to do it. So it becomes difficult. So yeah, just normality, being able to get exercising more, move more, and work more. And it's going to be awesome. Plus, there's Marvel movies coming out, and the only time we can go to the cinema is when he's at school. So quite like to see them as well when they come out. What kind of setup will Andy be looking at for long term after he no longer lives with you? How much support at 18, 19 when he transitions to those living arrangements will there be? How confident are you with what is available to make the transition as smooth as possible? We can't really answer this because we have no idea. We've not even started the process. We've spoken to the social worker briefly and let them know what we would want to happen, and they are aware of it. And at some point, any time now, we were told it would happen over the course of the summer. So any time now, we're going to start the transition process from child social services to adult social services. And it's the adult social services that have to arrange what comes next. So the child social services can't tell us what's available for him. So we have to wait until he's transferred to adult, and then we can start having those discussions with them, let them know again what we're looking for, what we think is going to be best for Andy. They can have their feedback about what they think is going to be best for him. And then we'll pair that all off against what is available. And it's going to be a very similar process. The way I understand it, it's going to be a very similar process to getting the carers was earlier in the year. It's going to be similar to what finding a school was. It's going to be, yes, we've got our ideals of what we would like, but if that's available or not is completely out of our control. And yeah, we're just going to have to see what we're offered. And then as we're offered things, decide if they're right for him. And we've not even started that process yet. So I know we've always said once he's 18, I think there's been some misunderstanding from a lot of you that the plan is he turns 18 and we kick him out. That's not the plan. The plan is once he's 18, we would like to be in the process of finding what's next for him. I mean, ultimately, he can stay at his school he's at now until he's 19. So there's no reason for him to move out while he's still at that school. So he's here for the next 2 years regardless. That gives us a year once he's 18 to really start to accelerate the process of finding what happens after 19. Whether that's a residential thing with an educational element or whatever it might be. We don't know. We don't know what's going to be available. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, the plan is long term for him to be living as independently as possible. That is our only criteria at the moment. And that's all our criteria has ever been. At the moment, we don't know what him living as independently as possible looks like. I imagine it's not just going to be what we want. We're going to have to take on board what professionals think he can do, what everyone else thinks is appropriate for him. Because at the end of the day, we're not in a position to go and spend a load of money on a fancy place for him to live that's all bells and whistles and fanciness. We're not in a position to do that. You know, it has to be something that's going to be able to be funded from what the local authority are able to provide for him, plus any contributions that he'd then have to make from his PIP that he gets. We're not going to be pouring loads of money into funding whatever he's going to be doing, because again, that's just the start of a slippery slope. Then part of him living as independently as possible is setting him up so that he can be fine for the rest of his life, even when we're not around. So finding a solution that involves us having to pay towards it, that doesn't really satisfy that, does it? Because if we drop dead the week after he moves in, then what does he do? He's got to find somewhere else because we're not there to pay for it anymore. So yeah, it's complicated and we have no idea is the honest answer at the moment. It's going to be a long process. Since you guys want to go to Florida, how do you think Andy would do on such a long plane ride? No idea. He's never been on a plane before. I think he'll probably like them. He likes trains. I think he'll probably be fine. He's fine with any length of car journey as long as it's somewhere he wants to go. So he happily sat in the car for 6 hours to get to Disneyland Paris, longer than that with the stops, probably 8 or 9 hours over the course of a day and a half. And he was completely happy, never moaning, no issue, because he was going somewhere he wanted to go. It was a nightmare on the way home because he didn't want to do it. So I think probably flying to Florida will be absolutely fine because he'll be excited and he knows he's going somewhere he wants to be. But when it's time to come home, he'll just want to be at home and won't enjoy the process at all. So I imagine the flight home will be a lot worse than the flight there. How does Andy feel or react when subscribers approach you in public? He doesn't really like it, I don't think. He does, not because he doesn't like people, just because he doesn't want the interaction. We've had it a couple of times recently where I'm always happy to chat with people, do selfies, whatever people want. But Andy very much wants the exchange to be over as quickly as possible and doesn't want his day disrupting. So yeah, if we're ever out and about with Andy and you want to say hello, by all means say hello, but understand it's probably going to be brief because Andy is going to want to get out of there pretty quickly and get on with whatever he was doing. Because usually if he's out of the house, he's out of the house for a reason. He's not just out and about ready to stop and chat to people. He's on his way to do something, or he's on his way home to decompress having done something. The public still deserves to know, how many chairs does a famous YouTuber have? And this is all because of my Football Manager stuff. Right, let's count the chairs. So I've got a chair in here, so that's 1. In the living room, we have a sofa that seats 3. We have 2 armchairs. So what's that? Hold on, 1, 3, 2 armchairs, that's 6. Anna's chair is 7. In the kitchen, we have 4 chairs, so that brings us to 11. There's 2 spare dining chairs in Amy's room, plus a desk chair, so that gives us a 14. Then Andy's got a spinny chair in his bedroom, so that's 15. And Anna has a chair, a makeup table thing in our bedroom. So 16 chairs. Oh, and 4 in the garden. 20 chairs is how many chairs we have, which, yeah, I mean, that's how I know I'm a success now, because I have 20 chairs. I certainly didn't have 20 chairs at my previous house. As everyone who watches my Football Manager stuff knows, the measure of a person's success is how many chairs they have in their house. We're a 20-chair household now, 20 chairs. Very nice. At what age did you decide it was time for Andy to have medication? I have a very loud and boisterous 5-year-old boy with ASD. We started medicating Andy probably a little bit too late. It was basically a case of when everything got really bad, when he was refusing to go to school, when we got the social worker involved, when we when we started with CAMS. So that was when he was like 12, because for years he didn't have a social worker. We had to really fight to get him a social worker, because it was, you know, we were fine. I think that's the thing with social workers. If you look like you're getting on okay, they don't necessarily want to come and help. So we had to really, really push to be allocated a social worker. And then as soon as we got a social worker, everything else started to follow. So I think in an ideal world, we probably started the medication a year or two earlier, because then we might not have had the problems we had. As soon as it looked like he was, it's the moment he stopped going to school, we should have sorted it then. In the end, it took a year after him refusing to go to school for us to start it. And once we started it, pretty soon he was back at school. So yeah, probably it would have been nice to start it a year earlier than we did. But yeah, I mean, it's a conversation for you to have with all the professionals you're working with, teachers, doctors, social workers, anyone you're working with, talk to them about it. And if you all agree it's a good idea, then pursue it. If you don't all agree, then it's probably not the time. I mean, for us with Andy, it was very clear. Every single professional we were working with was like, yeah, of course he needs medication. We didn't realize, the school were like, he's not on any medication at the moment. Every other kid who comes here is. I was like, well, no, he's never really needed it. So yeah, talk to the professionals you're working with. Do you and Anna ever plan on getting married, and what would the theme be? Yes, we do. We've even talked about setting a date recently and tentatively maybe possibly penciling something in for next year, depending on COVID and stuff like that, and a few other bits and pieces, like logistically, that we'd have to work out. The theme for it will be a wedding. I don't really understand. Theme? Theme will be we're getting married, probably. Anna might need to answer that one when she's back on camera. Once Andy moves out, will he still be going on holidays with you guys, like Disney, Florida, Japan, even London? Sometimes is the answer to that. If it's a holiday we're doing for Andy, then yeah. So like if we go back to Bruges to look at cathedrals again, then yeah, we'll take Andy. If we're going to Disneyland, probably, yeah, maybe not every time we go, but yeah, we'll make sure we bring him sometimes when we go, and sometimes we'll probably go without him. Whereas if it's a holiday that's for us, probably not. I mean, we're not likely to take him to Japan because I don't think he gets anything out of a trip to Japan. Whereas it's somewhere me and Anna both want to go because it tickles our nerdy sensibilities. And I don't think Andy would enjoy the trip. And I think he would make it difficult for me to enjoy the trip by him not enjoying the things that I want to do when we go to Tokyo. Like same as when we go and do stuff like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, VidCon in America, these are kind of trips that, no, we won't take him on those trips because he'll hate them. But for a lot of those trips, we'll probably tie in Disneyland and stuff while we're there. Like if we do VidCon in Anaheim, yeah, we're going to go to Disneyland while we're there. We're not going to take Andy on that trip because he'll hate going to VidCon. But if me and Anna are there for VidCon, then yeah, you can be sure we'll have a couple of days in Disneyland as well. Likewise, if we do San Diego Comic-Con, we'll probably nip back over. We might make a fortnight of it and take in Vegas as well. There'll be times for family holidays and there'll be times for me and Anna holidays. And I think that's the best for everyone. And it looks like that was the last question. So thank you to everyone who got involved asking your questions. If you didn't get yours answered this time, answer it, ask it again. The next time I put a thing up on the community page, or keep an eye out for the live Q&As as well. We usually get through a lot more questions on those ones, but we often get a lot of repeats on those as well. So I try and keep the video versions of the Q&As with as many fresh questions as possible. I think we've done a good job of that this time. So thank you to everyone who got involved. We'll do another one of these towards the end of September, early October time. We're going to try and do them monthly because I think people enjoy them and I like doing them. It's easy content. And we'll wrap that up there because I've got to finish making videos so I can get a bag packed so we can go to this hotel tonight for Andy. So if you have enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you are new. Thank you very much for watching.